Hi, I'm so glad you came back to join me for the final mistakes women entrepreneurs make that keep them on the hamster wheel running faster and faster. I'm Cheryl Cook of Small Biz, Big Results. And as I mentioned in earlier videos, I've made some mistakes. And as much as I hate to admit that, I really like helping women entrepreneurs grow and manage remarkable organizations. If I can help just one person, you, avoid the mistakes I've made, this bearing my soul to you will be all worth it. If you missed the first video where I talked about mistakes 1, 2, 3, and 4, please go back and watch it now. Those could be the mistakes you need to hear someone like me has already made and how you can avoid making them too. So here are mistakes number 5, 6, and 7 that women entrepreneurs make that keep them on the hamster wheel running faster and faster. If you're ready, grab a pen and paper and get ready to take some notes. So mistake number 5, goals are big and scary. So if we have goals that are big and scary, our brain perceives the big goal as unknown. And unknown means it's big and scary. What's your normal reaction to something that's big and scary? With my goals, I didn't know where to start, so I didn't do anything to move toward my goal because they were so big and scary. Imagine that big haystack where you're trying to find a needle. You can imagine if you can't see around it, you can't see over it. It's so big that you can't even imagine what's kind of around the corner. You think about looking around the edge and working your way around it, but you can't see over or around it. You don't know where you might actually make your first step into that haystack to find that needle. So when it's unknown, it really seems big and scary. Now, when it's big and scary, nothing gets done to achieve your goal. My first big fundraising bike ride with my husband was to be 150 miles. I'd never ridden any distance, so 150 miles, I have no idea how I was going to do that. I didn't know what it'd be like. It was a little nerve-wracking. And when I have big goals like that and I don't take any action on them because they're big and scary, I beat myself over the head for not taking any steps to achieve my goal. Do you find you ever do that? But the way to avoid this big and scary goal is to become an expert on the goal. You want to peek under the covers, so to speak, to see if there's any boogeyman out there. There isn't. You want to wipe out the big and scary. So think about what would have to happen for you to be 1/3 of the way towards your goal. What would it look like if it was 1/3 complete? What if it was 2/3 complete? What would it look like then? With this 150-mile bike ride, what I discovered was that I didn't have to ride 150 miles in one day. It was actually over 2 days. And what I discovered as well? I didn't have to even ride half of that distance at one time. I discovered that they have break points every 10, 12, or 15 miles. So all I had to do was ride to that next break point where there were refreshments, a chance to rest, get repairs for my bike if I needed them, or to get some first aid. Aspirin, ibuprofen, any of those kinds of things when you're doing a long bike ride. Those are important. So it turned out that 150-mile goal wasn't nearly as scary after all. Mistake number 6 is busy on the wrong things. I'm so busy doing urgent things that pop up and encroach on my time, I don't have time to do the really important stuff. Earlier, I asked you what your top 3 priorities were. Did you write those down? If you didn't, maybe you want to take a second to write down your top 3 priorities. What would those be? And then if I ask you how much time you spent on each of those priorities, you might find something interesting there. The other thing I found when I was busy on the wrong things is that I placed greater importance on other people's agendas and needs than my own goals. I'd get asked to volunteer on this committee or attend this meeting or meet someone for lunch. And my agenda went out the window. And you know, if you've ever had one of those days where you're spending all your time on urgent things instead of important things, starts out and there seems like there's a fire right at the beginning of the day and you're running trying to put out fires and answer people's questions and answer emails and you're on the phone answering questions and you're chasing this and chasing that, and by the end of the day you are pooped and you don't have any energy left for working on the important things. I also found that when I looked at the activities on my calendar, they didn't sync up with my priorities. There wasn't anything on my calendar, or very little on my calendar, that actually supported those goals. So what I said were important, I wasn't putting into action. I said yes to requests when I should be saying no. So the way to avoid this is to start your day focused on the important things. This way, you get to decide how your day goes. You want to block your calendar for 1 to 2 hours of focused activities, working on the important things. That appointment in your calendar is just as important as the time commitment you make to a client. So whereas I never blow off an appointment with a client, I should never do the same thing with an appointment with myself to work on the important things. And mistake number 7. Are you ready? Drum roll here. This is perhaps one of the most important mistakes, and the solution to it could really make a difference. Mistake number 7 is there is no system. So this means I get great habits for great ideas for improvement, but I don't have the habits that go with it. So I get all these great ideas, you know, reading books, I listen to teleseminars, I attend live workshops. They're all great and they're all full of ideas. But I'm not making anything a habit. I'm not able to put anything in place. I might work on it, an idea that I got from a book or a live workshop. I might put that into practice a few times, but if I haven't made a habit out of it, it's out the window shortly. You know, I think I'm smart, so I should be able to do this on my own. But, you know, I find that without a system, I'm spinning my wheels and I'm running on the hamster wheel, making little or no progress. Life gets in the way of a lot of things. And I am smart, but, you know, what I realized was smart people know when to call on other resources. A couple of folks I work with, excuse me, have a system for writing articles that I've incorporated into my business. I'd been writing articles for many years, but it was their system that actually helped me leverage my time. So what I suggest to you to avoid not having a system, obviously, is to find a system that works for you. And that system should include, number 1, a plan for each week where you focus on your goals. And number 2, that system should help you put into place the monitoring activities that will make sure that your activities support your goals. So let me recap the 7 mistakes women entrepreneurs make that keep them on the hamster wheel, running faster and faster. Mistake number 1, no direction. The solution is getting really clear on where you're going. Mistake number 2 is multitasking. Remember this one? The solution is to focus on only 3 goals, not on everything that's on your to-do list. 3 top goals. Mistake number 3 is no next steps. Doesn't do you much good to have those goals if you have no idea what the next step is. So the solution is to take just 1 step, the next step toward your big goal. Mistake number 4 is doing the wrong things. The solution is delegate it, delete it, or demote it. Mistake number 5 is the goals are big and scary. So the solution is to become an expert on your goal. What does it look like when it's a third done and when it's 2/3 done? Mistake number 6, you're busy on the wrong things. The solution is to start your day focused on the important things. Mistake number 7, there is no system. The solution is to focus on goals and have your activities support your goals. Phew. So as I told you, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and you know, admitting I've made these 7 mistakes was a bit of a challenge for me. I don't like to admit that I've done some things wrong. especially in such an open format. But I so want to help you avoid these same mistakes and transform that hamster wheel you've been running on into a high-speed freeway that actually transports you toward your ultimate purpose instead of running in circles. You may be the kind of person who just needs a few tips on changing some behaviors, and you're able to incorporate those ahas into new habits on your own. And if that's the case, I'm anxious to hear about your success and which mistake you've had the most success in overcoming. If you thought you were that kind of person but made attempts at weaning yourself off the familiar old hamster wheel without success in the past, you now realize life sometimes gets in the way. And it's so easy to fall back into old patterns without a system in place. Or you might be like some of my clients who know, hands down, they need a system to help them take action, get big results. If that's the case, I'd love to help you step by step, take action, and get big results. Can you imagine having a clear focus on where you're going and being laser focused on achieving your 3 most important goals? No longer would you be spinning your wheels, being busy, like the ants, but being productive. Just imagine the confidence you'd feel knowing the next steps to take toward your goals. And if you could free up your schedule by delegating, deleting, or demoting those things you spend too much time on, you would have more time for you. When was the last time you took some time off? Would you believe you could ever become best friends with that big, hairy, audacious goal? You can using the Take Action, Get Big Results system. And imagine a day that started and ended the way you wanted it to. Instead of, as one of my clients called himself, acting as the head fireman, putting out fires in your business, Wouldn't you like to be the one in control of your schedule, your to-do list, your goals? Wouldn't you like to change that feeling you work for everyone else into the reality of taking action and being in control? The Take Action, Get Big Results system provides you with audios, videos, PDFs, and tools you can put to use immediately as you walk step by step towards big results. But you won't be alone. I work with you interactively each step of the way to keep you on track, answer your questions, make suggestions, and give you the help you need so that you can get to big results. So let me just say, I applaud you for coming this far and your willingness to find a resource for helping you get off the hamster wheel for good. If you'd like some help taking those next steps, I would be honored to help you. I invite you to explore all the details of how to take advantage of the Take Action, Get Big Results system at smallbizbigresults.com. Take action, get big results. Or if you've been watching the video series, simply click the link below for all the detailed information. Remember the mistakes I've made and the system I developed as a result of them is about taking action. Thank you for joining me as I revealed the mistakes I've made and how you could avoid them. I look forward to helping you get off the hamster wheel for good. I'm Cheryl Cook of Small Biz, Big Results. Here's to your success.